love incarnate, love divine. Star and angels gave the sign. Bow to babe on bended knee, the Savior of humanity. Unto us a child is born, and he shall reign forevermore. Noel, Noel, come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the light of the world, given for us. Noel, Son of God and Son of Man, there before the world began. Born to suffer, born to save, born to raise us from the grave. Christ the everlasting Lord, and he shall reign forevermore. Noel, Noel, come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the light of the world, given for us. Noel, and you came to save, you came to save us. Oh, Noel, Noel, come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the light of the world, given for us. Noel, Noel.
Thank you so much, Thomas and Grace, for that beautiful song. Hi everyone, my name is Simon, and it's my joy to bring you a very short message today about Christmas. And I want to talk to you about unexpected news. You know, there's two types of news that travel the fastest. Bad news and fake news travel fastest. Back in February this year, news began to circulate that a new strain of virus had spread to humans and had affected a whole town in China. Bad news travels fast, and it wasn't long before the whole world was gripped with anxiety as our media updated us on this bad news day after day after day. The news of a new global pandemic for which we had no vaccine was, for most people, unexpected news. This year has been chaotic and confusing, hasn't it? Not just globally, but on a personal level. Maybe you've received unexpected news this year. Maybe your employer has let you go. Maybe you've received a sudden diagnosis for your health that was unexpected. This year has felt like constant bad news. Is it too much, I wonder, to hope for some good news, even some great news this Christmas? It was brilliant to hear just recently that we may have developed a vaccine that's successful against COVID-19. And we hope and pray that medical breakthrough would indeed be a success. But I wonder if the good news we've really been longing for in our hearts this year is something more than a vaccine, amazing though that would be. You see, I really think the pandemic, if we're honest, has revealed all of our deepest struggles, all of the challenges and issues we face deep down as a community, as a global community. Things like anxiety have come to the surface, injustice, inequalities, loneliness. The deepest needs of the human heart have been exposed in difficult ways. So maybe the good news we really need this Advent looks different than we're imagining, maybe found in a different place than we've been looking for it. In the Christmas story, there was a lot of unexpected news. Both young Mary and her older cousin Elizabeth received quite incredible news that they were about to have children in very different ways who would grow up to be very important people demonstrating peace on earth. And that first Christmas news seemed to spread to very different people groups, from Middle Eastern shepherds in the countryside to Far Eastern astronomers searching for this breakthrough news. It turns out, though, that this surprising news of a special baby being born in a backwater town, although it seemed sudden and dramatic, it wasn't unexpected after all. In fact, this news had been expected for centuries. You see, the greatest news of all, this Advent, Christmas news, is both unexpected and expected. It's both ancient and brand new today. And it turns out to be not just good news, but the best news of all. The news that God had promised long ago He would never leave you alone has come true. That He would come and help us. So I want to say to you today, if you've received unexpected news this year, if this year has felt confusing and chaotic for you personally, I want to encourage you that you're not alone. That your story is part of a much bigger story, both an ancient story and a brand new one today. In fact, the greatest story that the world has ever known. You see, even unexpected news in my life, in Mary's life, in Elizabeth's life, in your life today, can create space for something new to happen. Even if that news sounds confusing at first. For peace and hope to become real for us. The world needs good news right now, doesn't it? It turns out that this good news, the greatest news we'll ever hear, has already been announced. So my hope for you today in this first week of Advent is that your Christmas season would be filled with unexpected good news of God's love for you, and that good news would fill other people's lives around you this Advent.